I am joined here by Mr. KugoTheMighty, social media personality turned fitness trainer in both real life and VR. He started the Mighty Gym, which is a virtual reality gym that brings people worldwide together for their new or existing shared passion for fitness. What do you think of that intro? Did I get it right?
It sounds great. It sounds accurate and effective. Yeah, that's great. It's exactly what it is.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Okay.
Nailed it.
All right, so, good sir, I have to press you a little bit. Is the Mighty Gym a cult?
Yes.
I thought you were gonna fight up against it. Okay, it is a real cult. Yeah, cults aren't bad. They aren't that bad.
Next question.
Next question. Okay, so it's hard to correct people's forms. You know, it's a VR gym. It's hard to correct people's forms. Exercises are mostly focused on body weight. It's not like resistance strength training with heavy weights or you got machines. Are you even buff in real life, bro?
Am I even buff in real life? Well, if you actually roamed around my social medias, you might have been able to see a couple pictures of me floating around the internet. But I have been known to walk around real gyms from time to time as well. I've been I've been working out for maybe 12 or 13 years at this point.
Dang.
So I know at least 3 things about working out. At least 3
things. 3 things. Okay. So for me, I saw that you were really active in the content creation space. I think you started off, or maybe not started off, but did a lot of work with like VR. I saw the one with the haptic vest. You let people touch you in VR. That went pretty viral.
Video. Yeah. That was great. Yeah. Super fun.
Would you say that was kind of like the pivoting moment that got you into virtual reality?
I've always loved VR, and it's hard to explain why. I think a little part of it was when I first started experimenting and playing around with my first headset, which was the HTC Vive, the first one, way back. I think that was 2014 or 2015.
Dang.
I noticed, first of all, I had phantom sense like right away.
Oh.
And it's never gone away. So I'm one of those people where if you get close to me, it really is unsettling, or I start feeling things on my body. People like to pet each other in VR, and immediately
it's weird.
Like they're near me in real life, and it's a little bit off-putting. But it's really sucked me in because VR has been one of the most immersive experiences I've ever had in my life. Just being a gamer my whole life, there's nothing more real. You can't get into a game more than physically being in the game, right?
Yeah.
And then the fact that you can create anything, and people are so creative with the worlds that they build, experiences and activities. It's like I could never see it all. You can never see it all. And I think that's the beautiful thing about content creation in real life and also in VR.
Gotcha. That makes a lot, That makes a lot of sense. So, I mean, that's your passion for virtual reality, and now you have like the Mighty Gym, but I think it would do a lot of good if we went back to your fitness roots a little bit. You've been working out for, you said, over like 10 years or something, so you know a couple things about fitness. That's kind of before the era of social media and, you know, people posting on Instagram like topless photos, like, hey, look at me, look how buff I am. So I feel like when I talk to people in the fitness space who've been doing it for a long time, a decade or more, there was always something that triggered that initial beginning to get into fitness. Is there something like that for you as well?
You want to hear about my fitness triggers? Are we talking triggers already? Trigger warning. I have 2.
All right.
I have 2 triggers. So the first catalyst for fitness was, this is really stereotype and tropey for a young male, but Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, dude!
And everybody in that show is so jacked.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I wish it was possible for real humans to look like that. And then I went on the internet and looked up like bodybuilding competitions, and I was like, oh my God. If you tried hard enough, you could actually look like that. So that was like one of the catalysts for getting me to work out in the beginning. And then honestly, another trigger for me was my younger brother.
Oh.
He's 3 years younger than me, and he went off to join the U.S. Army. And he went away for about 1 or 2 years, and then he came back for like a family gathering, and dude looked like a turtle. His back was
Just,
like a shell of muscle. He was just absolutely stacked. And I had a little bit of older brother jealousy, where I was like, I can't let my younger brother, my baby brother, be looking all jacked while I'm over here looking skinny fat playing World of Warcraft on the weekends, eating Cheetos and McDonald's. I gotta step it up just a little bit. And that was what sparked all of it.
Gotcha. So that's kind of like your roots. Oh my God, it's so funny you mentioned Dragon Ball Z, because I kind of thought how can someone look that jacked? But I never did what you did and go into like bodybuilding fitnesses. I just kind of kept on eating Cheetos and drinking Mountain Dew, man. So
I mean, that stuff's great too. You can still have that and be jacked, but you gotta be somewhat disciplined in the other areas to make that work.
Of course. Yeah. So I guess you had this passion for fitness for a very long time, and yes, you did get really into virtual reality with the first HTC Vive 1 that you mentioned earlier. So but why would you ever make a VR gym when you could I understand that you're an actual personal trainer in real life, so why do a VR gym when you could just separate your VR fun and experiences and have your I guess real life fitness, personal fitness, business or coaching classes, as you would put it?
Yeah, that's a good question, and there's actually a lot of answers to that.
Okay.
But I'll try to make them all. I'll give you the bullet points first, and if you want to dig deeper, we can.
For sure.
So the first reason was I was looking around and I didn't see anyone else making a fitness community the way that I thought could be possible. Like, there are lots of fitness communities in VR, VRChat, and other VR applications. People gather around, they're in a space and there's somebody instructing and giving examples, or maybe they're following a YouTube video guide or something.
Yeah.
But there was nothing out there that gave me the same kind of experience that stepping into a really good real life gym felt like, where there are staff waving and welcoming you in at the door. There are, there's a lobby, there's a warm-up stretch area. It takes you on a ride. There's lights, there's music, there's adventure. Another really good reason that I wanted to make a gym is with exercise in VR. Have you heard about time compression and the studies done on that?
I'm gonna take a wild guess on what time compression is. Is it when you're in virtual reality, your sense of time perception gets lost, so time actually travels faster, or at least you perceive it to go faster?
That is correct.
That's sick. Good. I'm educated. Very
good. Yeah. And there's a lot of studies going around. They use VR for things like medical surgeries and also exercise. And a lot of these studies are concluding that people perceive about 40% less time.
Oh, wow.
When they're in VR.
That's actually a lot of time.
When you couple that with something, it's a lot of time. So, we do half an hour workouts and people swear that they were working out for an hour. And quite oftentimes they'll get exactly as much work done in that half an hour too, because they're working out really, really hard, because the environment is so fun, they're so immersed, and it doesn't feel like they're looking at a clock that's just ticking by. I don't know if any of you have ever been like in a class or school or at a job, and it feels like you're just watching.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
So when you're in VR, it makes usually unpleasant things a little bit more tolerable or even pleasant. So that's just a match made in heaven for fitness, because we all know we should be healthy. We should exercise as humans. And so there are a lot of people, especially people that spend a lot of time in VR, that maybe don't consider themselves as gym people, but I wanted to give them a gym. to call their own.
Gotcha. So you wanted that like same immersive experience that you would have from a regular gym class, but then bringing it into real life and emulating that as much as possible while adding in the technological wonders of virtual reality and teleporting to different environments and all of that fun stuff that comes with VR.
Yeah. You said regular gym class, but I would argue it's an awesome gym class.
Very awesome gym class.
It's an amazing gym class.
Yeah. I did
even by real life standards.
Oh yeah, no, it's super cool. I mean, I've been to well, two things. The time perception thing, right? When I went to your class, that was so real. I do a little bit of exercise here and there, but the 30 minutes it didn't feel like 30 minutes. And especially with all of my friends around me and you leading the class, it was like, wow. And then getting that scorecard at the end of it was just a super cool experience as well. Okay, I lost track on what the second thing was, but
It's all right. We're both excited.
Yeah, I'm just so, dude, I love virtual reality, man. It's so cool.
Same.
Okay. So, all right. Oh, I remember. Yes. So I used the class example because I actually went to my first jiu-jitsu class, right? And I think when I was doing that first jiu-jitsu class, I got the same experience. I took one of my friends to go with me, and it was just so much fun that the hour-long class felt like 10 minutes. It's like, whoa, that was an hour? That felt like 10 minutes. Like, how did it go so fast? So, but moving on to more like fitness in general, right? Even if it wasn't the Mighty Gym, what kind of benefits could people get from VR fitness? I know you mentioned time perception was the first one.
Yeah.
But is there anything else?
Yeah. I think it's wonderful, and I think that doing it with friends is another really key element. I think that it's a lot easier to approach somebody in VR and say, hey, would you want to work out together sometime? It's a lot easier to do that than to go into a real gym, like go into your local Planet Fitness or your Golds and walk up to a stranger and be like, will you work out with me? Like, that probably won't work out as good.
Yeah.
So it's a better environment to make friends around fitness, which holds you more accountable, right? That's way better so that you do it more consistently. And then the time compression part is really important as well. And then also just visuals. Right?
Yeah.
Gym is a box with gray equipment in it, right? With black plates with weight numbers on them. Not very pretty to look at. It's not going to keep your brain entertained. However, really cool visuals like the HUD, traveling to different locations, the ability to go to the top of a mountain and do push-ups or sit-ups with your friend.
Yeah.
Way cooler than in my opinion, that's way cooler than putting on a YouTube video and rolling out mats in your living room and just doing it there.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So I think those are all great reasons to do exercise in VR.
Yeah, granted, the HUD system is so cool. I think that's the first time that I ever felt like my fitness was really gamified, because in college, I tried the whole tracking your macros, trying to impress the ladies, right? You know what I'm talking about? But, tracking macros.
Are gonna impress ladies.
Yeah.
I would just stop right there.
Yeah. But I wanted to get shredded, went to the gym, and
impress the ladies.
Yeah. I was trying to do all this, but counting macros, it kind of felt gamified with seeing the numbers and seeing all that get tracked, but it's a whole nother beast with the HUD. That is for sure. So, I have to ask a personal question, right? As I mentioned in the intro, you're a social media personality who I imagine you were a personal trainer while you were doing content creation, I'm assuming as well.
I actually do more now than I did when I was a content creator.
Oh, interesting. So what do you think was the hardest part about switching from content creation to doing fitness, both in real life and in virtual reality full time?
Oh yeah, much different skills. An incredible amount of skills I had to learn. When I stopped doing YouTube and all the other social media as frequently, maybe about a year and a half ago, I basically said, I'm on a mission to try to help people even more. like help more people and directly help them, see if I can figure out how to make people's lives better. Because I had spent 4 or 5 years doing that online, doing content creation, doing YouTube, making people laugh. I used to do Twitch streaming, and it's a wonderful thing to get a message from somebody saying, hey, I've been going through rough times and your content helped me get through it. So you do feel like you're helping in that way, but I've always been the kind of person that I'm always looking to learn more, and I'm always looking to do more and to reach more people and to just like make a bigger impact.
Yeah.
So when I made the transition back into like a professional fitness environment, there were a lot of skills I had to relearn. You know, to be honest, a lot of them being social skills, like dealing with people and talking to people, knowing how to take somebody who desperately needs like change in their life through fitness, but maybe they feel like they can't do it, right?
Yeah.
How do you convince somebody that they need something if they're not convinced? How do you believe in somebody so much that you override their disbelief in themselves? Those are the kind of skills that being a YouTuber doesn't really teach you, because it's very one-sided. You do your thing, you hope it makes people happy, that's the end of the transaction. But to actually be able to impact and affect people in a very direct way, especially in the fitness industry, is something that I really had to do a lot of studying on. Do some courses, watch a lot of YouTube videos on it, and then just go back and work in gyms for a while. Just get buried and immersed in that area. It's not unlike when I wanted to start this VR gym project. I spent a ton of time in VR over those 3 months. Just immersing, learning about VR culture and how I might be able to blend the two someday.
Gotcha. That's kind of interesting that you said that you had to relearn social skills. Throughout my time here in VRChat and doing a lot of these street interview type videos, a lot of people have actually told me that they were actually able to improve their social skills in VRChat. So they felt like they could never talk to random strangers, but because they just, like you said, hey man, want to go work out? Or hey, like what are you up to? And just having that natural conversation, they were able to overcome that social anxiety. So with that in mind,
how does that make you feel?
I mean, dude, it's so cool. I love it.
Isn't it cool?
It's so cool. But
you're doing a great job. That's awesome.
I appreciate it. But with that,
you're affecting people.
not as much as the gym, man. But with that in mind, like I find it so interesting that you're on the other side of the equation, right? Where you said you had to relearn social skills. So could you maybe go a little bit more in depth on like, you know, your social skills that you learned in VR, whether it was through content creation or just hanging out in VR in general, and the differences between in reality? Because I think that might be an interesting dichotomy.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Well, that was also a really tough time because we're talking about 2 years ago. COVID was kind of a thing still.
Yeah.
Right. So we were all coming out of 2-3 years of this weird time in our life where we were really only talking to people online or really close people to us. A lot of people weren't working during that time. And it was also just causing a lot of stress.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Which can affect a lot of us in the way that we behave alone and around people. And when you're a content creator, especially if you're a full-time content creator, unless you actively reach out and make friends in real life and really try to engage in hanging out with people, it can become really easy just to get up in the morning, create content, eat food, and go to bed.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe talk to people on Discord or stream or just talk to people who can't talk back. And so if you do that for years and years and years, it can start to feel like you're living in a different world.
A little bit,
right?
Yeah.
It was very interesting to get back into an environment where I'm talking to people I don't know all the time, and then knowing that, you know, they could talk back. They could ask me questions that I wasn't expecting. They had problems that they wanted me to help them solve, right? These are all things that if you are not used to a life like that, your brain either finds solutions or it breaks a little bit.
Yeah.
So knowing how to deal with that, I think the first step to wanting to improve anything that you're kind of scared of, whether it's social skills or anything in life that you're scared of, is you do have to attack it head on and immerse yourself in it. And it's okay to like be bad at it for a while. Social skills, it's okay to be bad at it as long as you're able to forgive yourself, because it would be unreasonable for you to be good at something immediately. Right? That would be unreasonable. And no one would think like, if you don't do this great first time, gonna judge you. Most of the time they feel the same way. They're just not gonna say anything. But it's just like the gym.
That was just what I was gonna say.
You have to spend time under the bar. You have to do the reps. You have to be bad for a while. And honestly, most of the time, the big, buff, scary guy is the most nice person who you should go ask for advice and say, hey, do you mind showing me how to do this? Most of the time, they're like, yeah, absolutely. And here's some other things you probably know. And then, oh, also, you seem nice. Here, do you want to exchange phone numbers? Do you want to like work out sometime? Like, that stuff happens so frequently. And if it doesn't, who cares? Doesn't matter.
I was just about to say that there is such a strong relationship between your story with improving your social skills and also your journey in fitness, right? And I think you're right. COVID especially messed up a lot of people, myself included. And I on a personal level, your other comment about it's so easy to live in a different world when you're doing content creation. Like I think I went through kind of like my first cycle of waking up. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, I'm recording. Oh, I'm editing a video. Okay, and I do that all day, and I'm in my own little turtle shell, and I just go to sleep, and I wake up and do it all over again. Like that's like the first cycle I went through, I think a couple months ago or last year, and it was only recently that I started reaching out to people and like the jiu-jitsu class, for example, or asking my friends to go and hang out, or hey man, let's go get some food. That was something that I think a lot of people were missing. So what gets you like excited about the VR gym? Because it's the ability to connect with people all over the world, right? And you were able to get staff members on. You were able to get, in your trailer, I saw there were only maybe a couple of people, but now going to your classes, there's more than 10 usually. So what's that process like, kind of forming your own community around your shared passion in VR and fitness?
It's been wonderful. And I think when you're passionate about something, people can tell. And people want to be a part of it, right? It's not unlike this interview right now. Like, I went and had a look at your channel and some of your videos, and your videos are great. I love the energy that's behind them. I can tell you have an artistic eye. You like really care about not just the content of what's in there, but aesthetically.
Oh,
looking really nice. The
Thank
editing's
you.
really clean. And so it doesn't really matter how busy I am. I want to make time for you.
Thank you.
I can tell that you're passionate about what you do.
Thank you, man.
That's all it's about. It's like being passionate about something and then sharing it with the world and having other people be passionate about it as well, I think is a really great thing. As far as the exercise and the VR gym, like I said earlier, I just wanted to make the coolest thing almost for me. Like, if there was such thing as like this magical, amazing VR fitness center, what would I want to walk into? What would it be like? What kind of features would it have? What would there be staff members? What would they say? How intense would it be? How would you gamify it? Like, those are all things that I took into account. Like, I made this thing because I think it's amazing and I want to share it with people because I know other people will like it too. And it's not just about people liking it, but it's about people liking it and then coming to me and saying, I don't know what happened. I really haven't changed my eating habits or anything, but like I've lost 20 pounds in the last month or two.
Wow.
And then I'm like, okay.
From the Mighty Gym.
Guess what? Consistent exercise works, right?
Yeah.
And the thing about it that's so great is that it does keep people consistently coming back and forming that habit. So anytime you want something to improve your life, you have to form a habit around it. But it's it's hard to walk into like a regular gym and then be excited about it next
Oh,
time.
tell me about it.
Unless you're already a gym person, but that's the goal of the VR Mighty Gym, is I want to make more people gym people. Because there's this stereotype around it, and I want to break it. And I think VR in general is doing that to a lot of stuff. A lot of industries, a lot of areas of life. Like VR is breaking stereotypes. There's so many good examples of it, right? Like all of the concerts and the clubs, right?
Oh,
insane,
huge.
super underrated to people like outside of VR. If they only knew how cool VR parties were, and just like the worlds with like games and hangouts, and it's so big, and it's going to get bigger. And so I guess another reason why I made the VR gym is because I want to be there when, like, on the come up, right?
Yeah.
I want to be here ground zero and be like, we've been doing it this whole time, and we're only going to keep making it better and better and better and better. And the goal is not like to tie it into the question earlier where you said, well, not just my gym, but VR fitness in general. I don't even care if my VR gym is like the be all end all for VR fitness.
Yeah.
But it's gonna make more people exercise. It's gonna make more people healthy, and it's gonna make more people care about VR.
Exactly.
Because even in real life, when I tell people like, oh, I'm a coach, I'm a trainer, I do this, like I have a couple different businesses related to fitness, and also I have a VR gym, and they're always like, what? A VR gym?
Are you crazy?
And then I'm like, are you crazy? And then I'm like, well, let me tell you about it. And then they just can't believe that it even exists. And I'm like, it's existed for like 6 months now. Like people have been exercising in VR for years.
Yeah.
Before my gym was even built. And they're like, they can't even believe it. So I think it's a matter of time before people realize they can have these really awesome experiences, fitness or otherwise, from their house, you know, hanging out at home. They don't have to get in their car and go to a gym. They don't have to go anywhere. They can hang out with their friends across the world. And not only that, it works.
Yeah.
Right? It's real exercise. You mentioned like free weights and equipment earlier. As a fitness professional, trust me, most people who are looking to get healthy or just lose, 5, 10, 20 pounds, or just like feel better about themselves every day when they wake up, you don't need more than bodyweight exercise. You need consistency. And you need people around you. You need a good community and environment where you feel like you can try hard and you are good enough. And then that's what's going to keep you accountable. And the next thing you know, you don't even know what happened, but you're fit. And all of a sudden you feel better and you're a gym person. And that is the goal. That's the whole goal of doing this.
And I think you're so right. I 100% agree with you in like, you're not really doing it for other people, but you're doing it for yourself. And that's something that I relate very much to with my own YouTube channel and virtual reality as well. I just want to make the best video production stuff available in VRChat. And how far can you push the boundaries of that? I mean, there's the guys who are making, what's it called? Into the Metaverse, the VR movie. Like, that's so mind-blowing. Oh my god, yeah. And I think you're right. I think what's so cool about the Mighty Gym is that your comment on, even if it's not the end-all be-all, you want to turn more people into gym people. I think one of the reasons why I was so interested in your gym is because you kind of are the first guy to really take it seriously. And I think this is really setting the bar and the tone and really the foundation for what social VR fitness can look like. Because a lot of the VR fitness examples that I've seen, or even VR games related to fitness, they're very solo oriented. And I think you're right. The consistency is just so hard unless you have a group of people who are motivating you or asking you, hey, you didn't come to last class. Like, where are you at, bro? Like, what happened? And keeping that accountability, I think, is so important. I want to wrap up this conversation just a little bit. God, I'm just so excited about VR, man. I love talking VR about people.
Yeah.
But this is a this is a serious question. So, at the end of your VR gym classes, people can get a report They can get a report card that they can put their VR camera in, and it'll give them essentially a detailed breakdown of their performance for the day and comparatively to the group class. So the group class when I attended last week, everyone got an A, or that's the average score, and it was awesome. However, good sir, I'm Asian, and I got a B. Do you think you could change it to an A? I can't go in shame like this.
I think that I could maybe give you some extra work that might bump that up to an A.
You know,
You want to do some push-ups right now?
this is, you know, I really enjoyed this conversation. It is fantastic talking to Kugo the Mighty, the man, the myth, the legend. Not even a myth. He's here. He's here running a virtual reality.
Not real?
Yeah, he's real. He's real. You can take his classes.
The myth.
But he runs the VR Mighty Gym. Now, I do have a little segment where I do let people promote their organizations within VR, because I think it's really important for people to hear and understand that passion. So for these VR organizations, I typically give them a 10-second ad read. And in this ad read, you can talk about why the VR gym or the Mighty Gym is so cool and why people should come here. And since you blessed me with multiple timed exercises, I thought I would return the favor. So when I count to 3, please go ahead and give your 10-second ad read to the audience. 1, 2, 3, let's go!
Visit themightygym.com to check out the gym. We're going to be Quest compatible soon, and we have a new expansion coming called the Fit Factory that's going to be cross compatible. And also, visit Twortles on YouTube.
Yo, let's go, let's get it!
Did I get 10 seconds?
Yeah, I think you got 10 seconds. That was perfect. I think so.
You didn't even time me.
I didn't. I do it all in post. That's the power of editing. That's the power of editing.
Find out later,
We'll find out later.
Cut it short if it doesn't.
I'm pretty sure that was 10 seconds because I've had some people go over 10.
That was good. That was good. Let me tell you that.
Oh, yeah.
All right, awesome. What time is it? Oh, I do have to run. Oh my gosh. Okay, I actually have a client that I gotta get to right now.
Oh.
That was perfect timing. Bought
Very
me one
cool.
Last time. Great
Yeah.
interview. I can't wait to see what you make of this. Come in here too, Mojo. Get
Oh.
in here too, Mojo. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, yo.
Yeah. All right, I appreciate both of you. I'll talk to you soon. You got me on friends. So
Yes.
poke me anytime you see me.
And
Okay.
I'll ask you for your Snaps Discord. Send that whenever you need to.
Yeah. Sure.
For
Sounds
sure.
good. I'll get you that to you soon. All right.
For
Bye-bye,
sure.
you too.
But goodbye. Very cool. Yeah, I figured he needed to run, and talking about VR like that is, takes up. That's just how passionate he is, man. He's so cool.